Hey you guys, it's your girl Brianna Cooley with another video. I'm coming with you with a story behind. This story behind is on Fear is Canceled. So that was my latest piece. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out on my YouTube channel. And for those who have seen it, welcome to the story behind. So the writing process for this poem in particular was very hard for me. It was just different than any other piece I have written. Usually with the pieces that I have written, they came to me in like a dream, or they came to me, just out of nowhere at night when I couldn't sleep, or, just throughout a dream, or just me waking up and I have something, to write down and to jot down. But this one, I was going through like different types of writing processes. I was going through different types of topics I wanted to talk about, different types of like little lines here and there. So this piece was for a college concert in Philly. At Deliverance, they had this college concert that basically showcased colleges and their choirs, also their praise dance team, and then I was representing my school, Millersville University, through spoken word. And it was pretty challenging because I had to go with a certain theme. So the theme of the whole event was Revive Us Again. So I remember in my notes I would write down what revive meant to me, like different things of what the word meant to me. I used a dictionary. I tried to go into the word just to see what I can find. And I remember like just writing like my experience with being revived and different things like that. And I had so many little lines, and I was doing everything to find something to say, something to bring to the table, and it just wasn't coming to me. And I knew about this event about like 2 months in advance, like before 2018 even started. So I was just like, yo, I need to figure out something, like, or I'm gonna just have nothing, or I'm gonna have to perform something that I've been wrote, and I don't want to do that. I want to have something written especially for this event and for the people that's there. So it's like 2 weeks before the event, and I still have nothing, but I have my topic, which is fear. And it was just crazy how fear came to me, because in the process of thinking about being revived, that's when fear came to me. Fear was like the greatest thing that held me back. And I feel like sometimes we start things, and then we start working in our gifts, we start working in our talents, but then we have that fear. Some of us we run with that fear. Some of us allow that fear to keep us. And so in order for us to be revived, we have to let go of fear. So that's where that topic came from.
Alright, y'all ready? Alright, repeat after me. Today fear dies.
Today fear dies.
Those things that I long to do.
Those things that I long to do.
The person that I'm supposed to be.
The person that I'm supposed to be.
Today is revived.
Today is revived.
Alright.
So it's 2 weeks before the event. I have my topic. I don't have anything else. I just have a topic. I don't even have any lines that I want to say. So it's 2 weeks, and I'm like, yo, telling my roommate, I say, yo, I need something to write. Like, I don't have anything. I don't think I'm gonna be ready for this. All I have is a topic. And she was like, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. Just wait, just chill, just relax. It's gonna come. It's gonna come when it needs to come. So I'm like, all right. So I decide to fast. I decided to fast a week before the event. So I'm fasting. Friday come. My fast is over. Still nothing. And in my head, I'm like, thought I was supposed to get something. I'm fasting and I'm praying for this, but it's not even coming. Like, I thought I was just supposed to get it like that, But a day later, I got it, and I got like my beginning, and I was able to to show my roommate and say, look, is this good enough? Because when I write, I sometimes need a second opinion. Well, all the time I need a second opinion because I don't know, how good it will be or if it will get the message across, because there's some things that I may put in there that I may understand but others may not. So I had her read it and she said it was good. So I'm like, great, I just gotta find the rest of this poem and then I'll be set. But we're getting to the week of the event basically. So this time I had to just sit down and write and just think, and I had like an outline on my phone just about what fear meant to me, what fear was, how fear affected me, and why is it important for us to push past fear. So I basically had all that in my phone, and then like a couple days before the event I finally got the whole poem, and that was it.
It was just easier to relate to them, but the crazy thing is, the more I tried to hide him, the more evident he became to them. Let me explain. A girl with a belief so deep, desires to reach uses and creeds, only to say not now, I'm too young. This became her mentality.
So what is fear to me? So I feel like fear to me it's an excuse. It's a delay. Everything that I said in the beginning of that poem, that's what fear is to me. It's a delay, it's bondage. Fear is a crazy thing. Like it's a tricky thing, to shake. Like fear can keep you captive. Like fear can keep you comfortable in a situation and you don't even notice. Like fear will have you start making other excuses. Like fear will have you start to doubt yourself. Like I remember like being younger and going back into church, and then we started like having like youth services and youth nights, and we'll be having like little rap sessions. And I remember like just like after a youth service and finding out, the fire that's within me, the gift that's within me. And I remember getting scared, so scared that I put myself in the shell, because people started to say, oh, you're gonna be so great, oh, you just like your mother, oh, you just on fire, like you got all this in you, all this gift in you that people need to hear, people need to see it, like you just got this ministry in you. And it scared the living daylights out of me, because I'm like, yo, I don't know like if I could do that. I don't know if I could go ahead and be somebody's somebody's minister or somebody's preacher, or if I can't even be a leader in some senses. And I remember that fear began to turn into doubt, and I began to doubt myself. I began to doubt the God in me. I began to doubt God over my life. And I remember like countless like talks with my aunt in the car, like car talks. She was just saying like, you gotta push out that fear, push out that fear, push out that fear. And then countless talks with my godmother, and she's like, yo, bro, you got so much in you, but you just allow fear to hold you back. Like you gotta let go of that fear. And it was crazy, like fear. I never realized how much fear, has on a person, how much effect it has on a person, because you get so comfortable sitting back, you get so comfortable, playing it safe. And I remember like, because I fear what God can do in me, I began to make excuses for myself. And the biggest excuse that I had was I'm too young. And that's a lot of young people out there. And that was mainly what Fears Cancel was talking about. It was just like, yo, even though you say you're too young, you're not too young for God to use you. He can use you any way that he wants to, and he wants to use you. He wants you to have an impact on these other young people that are behind you. He wants you to have impact on your peers, because I realized like, when did we as my generation, as young people, when did we stop needing God? Like, and that's what's wrong with our generation. I feel like we're not, it's a lot of us young people that's not bold in our faith, because we feel like, oh, our generation don't need God right now. We can get God when we older. And that was my main thing. I can get God when I'm older. I can do what God told me to do when I'm older. I can go ahead and preach when I'm older. I can go ahead and sing when I'm older. I can go ahead and be a leader when I'm older. But God, he's saying, yo, I need someone now. I need someone for the now. So fear was just that great thing that kept me in that mindset of that you don't need to do it right now. You know, it's not meant for you to do it right now. So if you are in that fear, you know, it's time to break out of that. It's time to break out.
Those things that I long to do.
Those things that I long to do.
The person that I'm supposed to be.
The person that I'm supposed to be.
Today is revived.
Today is revived.
So for now on, make that your mentality. Embrace all that God has for you are so much.
I got out of fear when I realized, you know, the effect that fear had on me. You know, I got out of fear when I realized that, you know, there was so much more to me. When I got boring, you know, doing the same old thing or being comfortable or, you know, things like that. Like, that's when you get out of fear. You get out of fear when you're ready. So, you know, even though my aunt and my godmother and other people, you know, they talk to me about breaking out of my fear. They beat me over the head like, yo, you got so much in you. You can't be fearful. Like, even though they beat that out of me, I wasn't able to move yet till I was ready. I wasn't able to follow what they were saying till I was ready. No matter how many times they said it, no matter how many times they tried to push me, no matter how many times they tried to tell me, you know, the gift that I have in me is real. No matter how many times they tried to tell me, I still couldn't see it because I wasn't ready to. So for those of you, you know, who have daughters, who have nieces and nephews and sons and you're the godparent of this and that, you know, just because, you know, they may not be listening now, don't worry. They're going to realize sooner or later, you know, when it's time for them to break out. You can't push them. You can't stress them. You can't stress over them. You can't beat them over the head millions of times. They got to see it for themselves. You can't make somebody get out of fear. They have to want to be out of fear on their own. So that just goes to show, like, fear, you know, fear, it comes and it goes, and you just have to decide when do you want that to go. And once you break out of fear, you can't go back. You cannot go back. No matter how hard you want to go back, you can't go back, because there's times in my life where even I'm still fearful. Like, I'm fearful of leading. I'm still fearful of those things I was fearful in the beginning where I didn't move on them. Now that I'm moving on them, I still get fearful, and I can't allow that, you know, to set me back. I can't allow that, so I have to push through. You have to push through. No matter how scared you are, no matter how much you think you can't do it, just go ahead and do it, but rely on God. See, the reason why some of us stay in fear is because we're looking at our abilities. We're relying on ourselves. But once you rely on God, and once you take it out of your hands and you put it in His hands, then you can do anything, because the Bible says you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So as long as you first, you know, believe in God and what He can do in your life, and then as long as you rely on Him and you trust Him, and as long as you put it all in His hands, that's when you can break out of fear. And as long as you realize that you're in fear, that you're in that bondage, and that you realize that you can do some things, and and you realize your calling and your abilities and your purpose, then that's when you can break out of fear. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just want to say thank you to every supporter out there, everyone who's just commenting, liking, and subscribing and following me, all that great stuff. Like, I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. Also, follow me on my social media pages. I have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. On Instagram and Twitter, I'm Bri_Day, so that's spelled BRI_DAI, and then that's on Instagram and Twitter. And then on Facebook, I'm Brianna Cooley. So that name you will see, like, on my Instagram, Twitter, and my YouTube channel. You'll see how to spell my name. So I just want to say thank you again. I really appreciate it. Also, stay tuned for my new motivational speaking segment I have coming out. It's called 3 Words. So basically what that is just a little